Yeah, I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Had to order another amplifier. Hang on, Tony's just going to start, so come on, look the other way. Oh. Hi everybody, welcome to you. We're here literally 100 yards from Scotland. We're in, I suppose, Berwickshire. It's the Scottish borders. Berwick is about 5, 6, 7 mile that way. We're on the outskirts of a tiny village called Norham and a castle that was put together by a man who was Bishop of Durham. His name was Ranulph Flambert. And Ranulph, Bishop of Durham, hard as nails, and to all intents and purposes, he was the king, because they treated him like royalty and he looked after the place. And this castle, since 1121, has towered over everything, and it was far more important than Berwick Castle, than pretty much any of the other castles around here. It's also the place where King Edward I, Longshanks, the hammer of the Scots, Edward I, and a certain lieutenant called John Sage used to base themselves. In fact, King Edward's wife, Marguerite of France, lived there while King Edward I was off fighting the Scots. And of course, this castle was English or Scottish, it was English, it was Scottish, it was English, it was Scottish. And they've had more sieges than pretty much any other castle in Britain. Incredible stories. People have died on every foot of ground within half a mile of this place. This is a bloody, gory place with incredible stories. So let's head down and get into it. Now, just discovered, because I put my wellies on today and I thought, that's fine. So then I can, if I ever do stand in one of these, I'll be fine. Now, it's too late because I've already just discovered that the right one has a slight hole in it. However, come on, let's get down. If you've never ghost hunted, and I know a lot of you have, this is what it's like. The reality is it's splashing down with rain. We're already kind of wet. Kenny is perpetually moist, but this is going to be quite something. Ghosts in every direction. Incredible, and I mean incredible, real stories of what they did here. Now, this is the outer wall. People didn't get past the outer wall, let alone get into the castle. So, talk about fortification. And one of the great bishops who served here decided he was only going to hire murderers, rapists and mercenaries, so that you can sneak around the side there, it's open. And he hired those kind of people to terrify the local folk, so they didn't get any ideas of breaking away from the side. Now, I saw a door open at the other side. Oh, you can
There's
just
a gate
walk
open
around.
there on the right.
See again?
There's a gate open on the right.
Yeah, oh, we can get in. It says it's open 24 hours. So. Oh yeah, there it is. How great is this? Just to be able to walk upon it, and I'm sorry, but I just think this is one of the great visits. Late at night.
Right. Look at that.
There's a bridge over there's a bridge down there that's over the moat that used to be there.
Look at the size of it.
How amazing is this? Now,
We didn't know this existed. Seriously.
well, at one point I lived half a mile from here and I didn't know it was here either. Now, you know the artist Turner, one of the most famous painters, he painted Norham, and that's his castle. It was this, you know, vista that he took. William Turner. But look at this place, man. Now, obviously, there's a few little places that they lock that you can get into during the day, but it's free, and I just think it's amazing. This is the... See again?
That crow's making that noise.
Yes. They're called birds of ill omen. This place has been fought over back and forth. Ali, William the Lion of Scotland came here, sieged the castle. 40 days he tried to get in here. Without success.
What's that noise there?
I thought I heard talking.
I can hear, it sounds like I can hear talking as well over
There
there.
is talking. Not the bird, listen.
No. Look on top of that. No, follow my beam, Kenny.
Right.
I just saw something moving across the...
What is it?
I didn't know whether it was because I'd been staring at Tony's light, if you know what I mean. I just saw something almost like smoke.
Whatever that is, it's moving. Whatever that there is.
I know. But do you see it? It's actually in between us and the trees.
Yeah.
In between us and the trees, Tony, there's something going on here. And I know it's raining. I mean, we are being obvious and we are getting
This is surreal, this.
struck. But imagine
Isn't it?
being in a place like this.
This is like if you're in a game, you know, playing these games and all that, like you do, and you've got like a war game and you're fighting, and you know, all that, and then you say something like that.
Boom. It's amazing.
I just like, that can't be right.
It's but just if you can imagine the warriors from Scotland fighting to take this place. Robert the Bruce came here trying to get in.
Look at it, man.
Robert the Bruce came here and for 70 days he tried to get into this castle without success. He lost over 1,000 warriors. Let's walk up and let's go in.
How do you actually get in? The bridge?
Cross the bridge.
Ah. Is it near the Flodden battle? Because I saw Flodden on the wall outside.
The Battle of Flodden Field was
We've been there.
a massive, absolutely. Flodden is just literally just. I've just found that out by walking straight through one of the biggest dollops you've ever seen in your life. But can you imagine? Now, I've not been aware of anybody saying that the moat was full, but it had to have been. And yet, when you look at it, there's buildings in it. And you see there. Now it's thought that the tunnel, and you know, there's a building down there. You cannot have a moat if that's...
No.
So it's just it's a battle escarpment. It's so that if anybody's got to get across there, they've got to go all the way down there, because that's relatively new, the bridge.
Yeah.
Now those stairs there is the... See the stairs here, Kenny?
Well, we're looking, yeah.
Straight ahead.
Yeah.
There's a story about the Wailing Lassie. here, and you got to remember that if you were on the top of there, you can see the River Tweed running down in the valley below on the opposite side of the castle.
From up there.
Absolutely. I just don't understand why there's a building in a moat. One of their dungeons here, there's amazing stories about the dungeon. But look at this place. You can't make this up.
You cannot really.
It's here and it's open and it's night and it's great.
It's like as if it disappeared.
Douche. I know. I'm stunned because,
You'd pay fortunes anywhere else in the world to come and see something like that.
and especially at night, and they've lit it up beautifully. So big up the council for everything they've done.
It's worth the hour trip up to here, isn't it?
No, absolutely. It's an hour from kind of
Hour 15 from me.
Hour and 15 from Tyneside, okay. Fair dues. And there's the outer wall again. You know the outer wall's here?
Yeah.
And it runs right the way along. So you've got to fight your way over that.
Yeah.
And look at the size of it. Look at down here. Now this bit's haunted apparently. And I know it's difficult when we're dealing with bucket and rain, because I do understand it's kind of harder. But there's a tunnel in from outside.
Yeah.
Now, that would have been a massive gate with people on top of the gate firing down with arrows and oil and all kinds. So we've got to go down there because there's the story of the hanged man from down there. Not yet. Let's go and have a look inside the castle while we're up here next to the bridge. And you're quite right. It is like entering a video game.
It is. It doesn't look real. You're thinking that can't be being built like that. Yeah, that's the way to walk, isn't it?
But look, we've got to go down there too and check all these places out. Now I know they've not got roofs on anymore, but how incredible. And inside there, of course, down the bottom, one of the most vile dungeons. You've got to be careful here because you can see through the and that always makes your testes climb up into my throat. But how amazing this is. And the incredible thing is, and I know there's nobody else stupid enough to come out while it's raining, but how lucky are we?
Oh, amazing. I mean, you know, to do this just once in your life,
For sure.
isn't it? It's just superb.
But you see how well built it is, first of all. You see the thickness of the walls. Do you imagine somebody trying to set fire to this? Just, you know, it just wouldn't happen.
This is a well impressive mine.
Well, thank you. It was my find, and I'm taking full credit for it. We're on. Look at this. Oh my goodness. You imagine people trying to fight their way up here? See how far? You would just be knocking them down like 9 pins, wouldn't you? Got to be really careful though, because there's a lot of really steep drops, and one of them is down here. Look at this.
Boiling oil, stuff like that.
Even, to be honest, even if you just took a rock
Yeah,
and just rolled it,
yeah.
you'd hit everybody in sight. You'd have a job. And we're going through rooms. I wonder what these are. Little roundels.
If you're like one of the stuff, like, you know, the fire and all that down there and all that, you don't have to get in there.
No. Look at the rooms. And then you come out of the room through presumably a big door. You step out and you're outside. You're in there in the warm and snug. Look at this place. My, come on. Whoa, look at that. Does that look like it's like a figure?
Oh, yeah.
You see it? I think it's just a light anomaly, but it's cool. Now you see that, at at its height, that was the same height as that. So to get an impression of this, how huge this place is, this must be a well, I'm guessing. Whoa, whoa, hell's teeth. How far down does that, how far down does that go? Hang on, can you?
How do you even build that?
You see how far down that goes?
Wow.
To the water course right at the very bottom. That's amazing. I didn't even want to put my foot on it.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a long way down, like, isn't it?
Look at this place. Oh, did you hear that?
Is there a noise there?
Yeah,
From up there?
yeah. Where we saw that shape.
There's a gate there as well, look.
Gates on all of them, just to stop you climbing on.
It's an indoor bit.
Yes.
A bit with a roof.
We could do with a bit of indoor. Yeah, there's a couple, there's another. We've got a fair bit. No climbing, obviously we'll not do any of that. Oh, come on. Look at this place.
Gold.
Whoa! Oh!
Jesus Christ, that was a... Came out of here.
Oh, look, is that a dead bird there?
Where?
There, look.
Where? Yeah. Yeah. Whoa! What the hell?
Birds just living here.
Or maybe they're just getting out the wet like we are. I heard a female voice over there though, Kenny.
Ah, I heard something.
Did you? It was kind of, ah.
This has got something at heart in it.
No. You've got a camera, Kenny. Yeah. Tony needs signal from where he is. Come up here and have a look. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, shoot a dog. Look at this. Oh. Tony. I don't know whether you can get this. If not, you can come in from the opposite side.
Oh God, amazing.
It is amazing in here.
You got signal again, yeah?
Yeah, I do. Hopefully it'll stay.
What's going on?
How do you even begin this?
How do you...
Hitchcock and all that.
Yeah, man.
Great movie, that, by the way.
Like, you know, people say, how can you be frightened of a little bird? Look at what we've just seen two there.
Exactly.
Ah!
I was terrified in that movie, the birds.
Look at this thing though, look at it. Just got to keep your ears open, and if you see things behind us, beside us, around us, screenshot please and send them in for the blur on Tuesday. We do a live thing for supporters only on a Tuesday where we all have a chat. I just want to get our bearings and then we'll plant each other in various places. Just I didn't realise it went on half as far as it actually does. And there's proper rooms and we can stay reasonably dry. We've got to go in some of these. Oh, good grief. Oh, this, I know what this is. Ah, this.
Why have we never been, told about places like this? Why?
Well, it's my job really to find them, and I'm just thrilled that I found this one. But to be able to take a walk into a place like this at night is an absolute blessing. Light that up,
Do you know,
can you
we
look
got
at it?
about Tynemouth and the Priory and how lovely it is, and it is. And
Look
see
at this
something
now,
like
look at this.
justice.
Does, doesn't it? Now, this place here, back in the day, there were grand steps down. Now they've put these wooden things just so that you don't slide on your backside like you're going to be prone to do. Now, back in the day, there was apparently a cell close to here, and I don't know where it was, but apparently there was a cell here or hereabouts, and it said that the great stairs that you can see from the opposite bank, which is patently these, back in the day, a girl came here, and I've got the name of the guy that she met as well. I can't remember his name for the moment. I'll tell you a bit later on. She came here, a Scottish girl from across the border. Now the border from here is literally halfway across the River Tweed, which is just on the opposite side of the castle. And her father was in prison here. And she came and she said, look, he's just a crofter. Please set him free. And she said, his only crime is that he spoke ill of the English. You know, he just said, I hate the English. I wish that they would leave us alone, leave us in peace, go away from here. And a lot of Scots at the time were saying that. So she came over from the Scottish side and said, can you set my father free, please? I need him for the farm. My children are dying because there's nobody to tend to, you know. So this man, and hang on, I demand to give you his name, for I have researched the history good and proper. There's just so many names associated with this place. His name, William Dacre. William Dacre was in charge of the castle at the time. And William Dacre said to the girl, I hear what you're saying. I understand. What I'll do is, I'll get your father. You can take your father home right now. So he left her at the top of these stairs. And he came down and he'd had his troops. And I don't know from where, because it doesn't look obvious where the... No. Maybe it could have been above it, or who knows. But anyway, when he came back, he was carrying her father's head in his hands and said, there's your father, take him home. Now this girl, whose name was Jeannie Munro, took her father's head, because she didn't have the rest of him, took her father's head, started walking back to wade across the Tweed, back to her village, and she drowned herself in the River Tweed with her head, and she's supposed to haunt the castle on these stairs. So she's supposed to be here somewhere. And to be honest, when we were in there, I never crossed my mind. But you know when we said we heard a female voice? It was in this area, wasn't it? The thing that's irritating is that I can hear all the blip, blip, blop, little April showers. But you can hear Bambi. No, you can, absolutely. But we have 1,000 little hidey holes to examine. I know. It's just hard to believe. And do you realise that it got so dark, it was almost like somebody just threw a velvet curtain over the top of us. Yeah. Ow. Yeah, for sure. Oh. Is that? Just where do you start? Oh, hang on, Kenny. Kenny. Oh! Look. Well, they had one, that's for sure. Is Tony with you?
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
I've got to be done with.
A little prison thing, isn't it? We're right in the castle now.
Wow. I just saw the light lighted up. Oh my good gracious. Tony, come and have a look at this. No, you have to see, you have to just look up. Trust us and don't fall.
Wow. All them floors.
Absolutely. Watch your step though, you're in between, or you got it?
Yeah.
Dropped your glove.
That was keeping everything wet, dry.
I didn't think we'd be able to get up a level here, but it's amazing. Right, while I'm technically a little inside, and I've got a bit of, I'm hitting all the floors here, I'm going to necromance a bit and see if we can get anything there. Did you hear that? Female voice. Come on, if there's anything here. If there's anything here, talk to us. Footstep on the stair. Did you hear that? It was like from down below.
Well, for here they're going to be like English, aren't they?
Or Scottish.
Or Scottish, right? Yeah.
Or French, to be honest. Because the guy who built it was Bishop of Durham, but he was French.
Right.
Flammenbach. Oui? I know, did you get that? That was weird.
Clever.
Parlez, monsieur. Yeah, talk to us. I know it is. Oh, I just heard a little girl's voice. Yeah. Did you hear that, Tony?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I thought it came from down there. There's something down here. That's that tunnel that we first went in, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I have got to say, man, what's the best cafe you've ever went to like this?
Well, Bamburgh's amazing, but it's in one piece.
Yeah.
If you're talking a ruin, this takes some
This has
beating.
got to be it, isn't it?
This
It's got to
does
be the
take
best.
some beating. No question about that. Careful, mate. I think it's just Tony's
Oh, just the camera, yeah.
gadgetry.
Obviously, we can only use certain things because it's meaning. Look at all the little doorways and.
Now, this battlement that we're on, apparently, yeah, I said that Queen Marguerite of France, who was the English queen, even though she was Marguerite of France, was Edward I's wife. She lived here. Edward was seen up there, his ghost, That's where he's seen. You see this bit here? Just there. And Tony, I think you might have to come, to actually see it, you're going to have to come out a little bit, sorry. Do you see right at the very top, the top tower? You can see where it was circular. Yeah, do you see it? That's where you're supposed to be able to see King Edward I. And he was looking out of the tower, obsessed, because the Scots used to use the ford nearby to wade across the Tweed. It was the easiest crossing point. Right. And he said every morning when he was here, he used to look out to the Tweed to see if the Wallace was coming across the water to come and get him. We had a whole range of Scottish kings of one sort or another who came down here. William the Lion took the castle, and then Hugh de Puiset fought against King Henry II and lost the castle, then won the castle, back and forth, and ended up giving it to Philip of Poitou, who was loyal to King John. Now, Hugh de Puiset lost it. Philip of Poitou brought over from France to take control, because you've got to remember this is only the 2nd century after 1066. Right. So he took over all of this area, and then there was a 40-year, Alexander tried to take the place, and a 40-day siege here where they were firing catapults over the walls, arrows. The French used a new weapon here, and it was said that it was one of the very first places. You may have seen one of them. There is definitely one of these things to be seen in Bamburgh Castle. It's a crossbow, but it's man-sized. And to load it, you've got to put your foot on the bottom of it to hold it down, and then get hold of the actual string, pull it back, hook it over, and then stand it up, and they've got a wooden post to put it on. Then you could fire a bolt, and that bolt, at the time they said it could travel a mile. But what they didn't tell you is, if you fired that into a rank of soldiers coming at you, it could go through 5, 6 or 7 men. It wouldn't just stick in you like a traditional bow and arrow. No. Got a bit of extra power. So stories galore here, and blimey, you can understand it. Now there's got to be something here. We've heard voices while I was Hello.
There you go.
Ball's going, Tony.
Oh.
That didn't take long.
When I said there must be something here. If that was you, it was you. Thank you very much. That's amazing. And the other one's at the side of it. Yeah. Right. Are you English?
I've just seen movement behind that.
What?
Honestly and truly.
So do I. I see it.
Behind it.
Yes, like a...
Like a hand.
No, like just movement?
Yeah.
What the... What is... What?
I'm not seeing that.
No, I'm seeing it too. On that stone that's about a foot higher than it.
Yeah.
Like shadow moving past.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you getting it, Tony?
I have a camera on that there, so you would have got it. Go on and light it up again.
Oh!
There?
On the opposite side, yes, absolutely.
Is it drawn away from it?
Yeah, like it was moving that way. Was that you? Are you English? Are you French? Are you Scottish?
There was definitely...
I saw it. And it went that... It was there.
Whitish grey just went...
It was there and it moved across there.
Yeah.
And then I lost it about here.
It moved away.
I lost it because there's a light through there.
Don't be scared. That's what it is. Why did you move away? It was as if it was pulled away.
That was wild. Oh, you put 3 out, I've just noticed.
Yeah. Why did you pull away from that though?
I have no idea. That was
We
just...
definitely go see that.
That was odd. I know, it was a genuine anomaly. And it was funny because it took my eye off the ball, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause it was behind. Why behind?
If that was you, give us your name Give us your name.
That's definitely French, mind.
It doesn't sound English.
Let's see that Norham.
Oh,
Oh, when I said that.
definitely French. Look at that. It's off.
Why French? Enough. Enough. Can you speak French?
Little. Parlez-vous français?
Oh,
See?
man. That is crazy.
Oh, there's the ball as well.
Pouvez-vous m'aider, s'il vous plaît? Parlez avec moi. It's odd this, I'm getting nothing remotely English here. What the hell was that?
You see moving out, did you?
Yeah, a little bit. Black though.
Right. This is grey here.
I know.
Grey and like the whitish.
Yeah, no. Almost like a marbling
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Why French? Why French?
Well, the French controlled it all. The French were here. Philippe of Poitou came all the way across to run the place.
Who built it?
Flambard, Frenchman, but he was the Bishop of Durham. But that's French.
Yeah, that's definitely French. No, you stopped.
No. Shall we start going to different places, maybe?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, I'll get them.
Isn't that strange? Amazing. So we're getting a little bit of activity. Voices. That I hope that caught on your camera, Kenny,
It was definitely like
because it was like a shimmering thing that just kind of moved. Yeah, is that your glove or Tony's? Come on. If there's anything here. No, I feel it too. Oh,
what was that? Bell.
Must be a church somewhere.
where?
Where's that coming from?
I've no idea. It is for sure. But must be a local church because it's not the castle. It's not the castle. It just adds to it though, doesn't it?
It really does, man. The enormous. When you look at it, mostly it's in front of your eyes.
But everything that's here is just story after story after story. There's a, do you know during the middle 1400s, 1455 till about 1477, there was a thing going on called the War of the Roses,
Yes, yeah.
the House of York against Lancaster. And this place was one of those places that got involved. It was a Yorkist stronghold up here.
Right.
And then when the Lancastrians attacked it, the Yorkists realised that the Lancastrians were too strong. So they said, tell you what, instead of killing us, we'll change sides. It's your castle now. So they just opened the gates, let them in. And the Yorkists heard about this and said, what? They did what? So they sent a much bigger army in and they came into the castle, reconquered their own castle, and said, what was that?
I heard a noise there.
That was almost like somebody stepped down heavily into a puddle.
Down here.
Yeah. But anyway, when they attacked, they said, when we attack, there will be no mercy for anyone. If you lose, you die. And when they came in the castle, they slaughtered everybody. So hundreds, possibly thousands, to retake this castle for the House of York. So there's no wonder there's stuff going on. Oh, look at this. Oh, and that's the stuff with gates. Oh, there was a place down there that we haven't been in, Kenny. So we are, does it say where we are at the present moment? I think we're in, oh, you are here. So this was the Great Tower, like I said. And you know, I showed you that place up there where the king was.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in the right place.
Oh, that's sweet. Reese of the bishop.
Yeah, well, this place was run by bishops. That's what it was all about. It is amazing. Right, let's get ourselves down the stairs without dying, if we possibly can.
Well, not too steep.
Yeah. Go on, Ken, you need you first. Front and centre. Yeah, but be careful, I know. I know. Oh dear. Yeah, yeah. So there's another thing around this corner. I think it's around this corner that we haven't been in yet. Yeah. Oh, do you hear voices there?
Already.
Male voices in here. Just up here. Yeah? Can you hear it? Oh, it's up there. It's definitely up there. Oh,
What would that have been?
I just saw something floating up there. Oh, it's Tony. Gee.
Don't sleep.
That was.
I don't know what's going on here.
I saw something floating up. I don't know what it was. I'm hoping you caught it on your camera.
Oh, well,
Because you're behind me.
that way, so yeah.
This is a jumpy place.
Isn't it? Compared to the rest of it.
It makes you wonder what was here. Tiny little. That's where our fly friends came from. Yeah, place them by all means. Talk to them, Kenny. You had more success than me last week. I'm not surprised. There's a lot to love. Yeah, take yourself back. Go back in time.
Oh yeah, we're on.
Yeah. So I used to go and touch castle walls, you know, that you could feel the history.
No, absolutely.
I'll just speak up a bit.
Well, I think it's time to split the stream.
Already, blimey. So many sieges, people coming in, people going out. A man called Thomas Grey was captured at the Battle of Bannockburn, one of the great victories, of course. And Thomas Grey was captured by the Scots, sold back to the English, and then took this castle. Now, while Thomas Grey was in charge of this place, there was one major problem that he had, which was an overflow of Scottish prisoners. So the choice was kill them or set them free. And I know you all think he's going to have killed them. He didn't. He set a lot of them free, and he says, just remember the kindness that I'm showing you and show me the same kindness back. And they apparently went off to Scotland, and there was peace for about 2 to 3 years. So just to show you, it's not all blood and guts. But the dungeons here, absolutely disgusting. I'm going to tell you some of the tales of the dungeons. We've got another tale of slaughter coming your way as well after the half. Now, if you're not a supporter, you're going to miss out, because we're going to start sectioning ourselves away and seeing what we get. I hope you'll come and join us. If you are willing to, it's only about £3 if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Facebook, it's £3.50 a month.
For everything.
And then you get all of our back catalogue of shows, which was like tons of them, a couple of years worth. So it's a no-brainer. Join us if you would be so kind. We would love to have you on board. How do they do that, Tony?
If you're on Facebook, just there's a link in the video description. Hit that, become a subscriber, and part 2 will appear. And same on YouTube, just join the channel and you'll see all the part 2s and blahs and everything like that.
So the blahs, when you get a chance to talk to us, we get a chance to talk to you. We debrief. People send us photographs of the things they've captured of the various hunts. It's a lot of fun. And then we'll keep you posted about everything else we do. However, make sure you become a supporter, please, if you can. If you can't afford it, absolutely understand. If you can, it's less than £1 a week. Happy days. Come and join the throng. Anyway, we'll see you on the other side. Support us. Thank you very much. For the rest of you, thanks for at least pointing your hat in our direction. Love to you. Have a beautiful rest of your night. Thank you very much. And good night from Norham Castle. Right. Kenny's working them balls. First time anybody's ever said that.
He loves those balls.
He loves... Who would have thought you could get into a place like this?
I know. I've never ever heard of it.
Never ever. This is amazing.
And it's got to be near Chillingham, hasn't it? Or has it? Because it's kind of...
25, 30 mile away.
Oh, well, that's kind of close, I guess.
Kind of. I want to go back down that tunnel, which is through here. We definitely got stuff down here. If there's anything here, talk to us. Make yourself known. Come on. If there's anything here, make a noise. Show yourself. Come on. If you're a bird, you don't have to. But if there's anything else here, talk to us. This could be the dungeon, you know.
Yeah.
You know, these little dark rooms, although you would expect it to be deeper set. The tale of the dungeon here, and I suppose when you hear the water dripping, that's exactly what you'd hear if you were in a dungeon. The water dripping around you. Maybe that's the only water you'd get, because in many cases they just chose to starve people. It was said that Chillingham had this, as you know, a massive torture chamber. And it had iron maidens, and it had racks, and it had all kinds of fancy tools, fancy ways to kill people. Here, I'm getting voices again, and not Kenny, because I can hear Kenny behind me. I'm getting voices over to the right. If you're picking up any of this, make a point of it. But here, and Warkworth had a thing that I've come to call compartments. Now, what they would do is they'd come to a back wall, have a walk in. They'd come to a back wall, something like this. And in the corner, they'd build something about that high, about 2 stone blocks, 1, 2, about 2 blocks high. And it would, to all intents, imagine your dog's cage. If you've got a dog, a lot of people have, I don't know, have you got one, Tony?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you like a cage that you say, I'm sick of petting the dog keeps sniffing my crotch, get in the cage. But here, they would get a prisoner, and if the prisoner had been a bit lippy, been a bit of a knout, they'd stick them in a cage about the size, 2 blocks high, doesn't look much, but narrow. So the only way you could be in there is bent double. Now, they might leave you there, only giving you water, or maybe the only water you'd get is whatever you'd catch running through the walls. And you'd be grabbing at it to try and keep yourself lubricated, keep yourself alive. And they'd leave you there for 3 months, 5 months, 7 months, a year. And when they opened that cage, you couldn't stand up. Your back's screwed forever. And all you could do is scoot along the floor, looking like something from another planet. And of course, then they'd set you free and laugh at you, because what could you do? Couldn't fight, couldn't work, can't look after yourself. You're doomed to a life of misery. And that was one of the things that they did here. Starvation was another thing. There's a few castles in the north where if you starve people enough, they wait till somebody else dies in the cell, and then you feed on them, because the instinct for you to stay alive is so strong. So when you think brutality, you're in an absolute right place. Castles were not designed to, we shall defend and protect. Castles were to intimidate. They were to show people that you had power, and so much power that they better not mess with you. Chillingham did really well, but it's much further south. We're literally on the border here. Not a mile from the border. We're about 50 yards from the border on the other side of the castle. The border runs across the middle of the Tweed at its shallowest point, so people can ride horses across, wade across. Not when it's in full tilt, but most of the year. So the dungeon here, very, very nice. A place you would not wish to be placed. And the other scary thing was, of course, that quite often they'd put like 50 Scots in there, and then they'd put 3 women. Well, you can imagine what, yeah, I don't have to draw you a picture. So when I put that necromancer on, and the first thing I heard was a woman's scream, I was not remotely surprised. This is amazing. So many amazing things happened. Look at this place. And let's go around that corner again, Tony. Take a walk down there. James IV of Scotland tried to destroy the castle. Then he got beaten at Flodden Field, and it was English again. Brian Leighton was the captain of Norham. Now, being the captain meant you were in charge of... Oh, listen to that. Being the captain of Norham meant you were in charge of all of the soldiers here. You had immense power. And...
He needs to go in there with his camera on his own, just because
no, I'll make him, I'll force him in, and we'll go and look around the edges.
Look at the thickness of that.
So anyway, this Leighton guy, he was captain of Norham, and he heard, because you got to remember where we are, some people are English, some people are Scottish, because this is the borders. And even Berwick, that's in England now, was Scottish, was English, was Scottish. And Leighton heard that the Scots inside the castle were going to give the castle to the Scottish. So Leighton said, okay, arrest all of the Scots. So he did. And he took them into the main courtyard, which is just over here, because this was the courtyard area, and he set fire to them. All of the Scots. Now, it was thought there was about 50 to 60 Scots working here, and he just put kindling down, put shackles on their hands and legs so they couldn't run away. They were literally tied. They were dragged by 2 soldiers each and placed into the fire where they burned to death, right here. Leighton was not a one to even take a chance. Kenny, can you come into the tunnel again, please, to the small room at the back? I'll go and plant them. You go walk about now.
I'll lose your mic.
Oh, you lose the mic? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because of the thickness of the wall.
Okay. Kenny, head towards the tunnel, mate. We'll get Kenny with his night vision.
Yeah.
We'll
Tunny.
That's neither one or the other. We'll get Kenny to go in there with his night vision camera.
Yeah, I can't last long in there.
Where are you, mate? Go into the room where you see the... Oh, there you are. Knock your... Do you need the torch on for the night vision to work? You don't, do you?
I know, not for his.
Take your torch off and just spend a bit of time in there and see what you get, mate. Did you? Brilliant. He's got a whole batch of stuff with the balls, which is amazing.
Oh, that's good.
No, spend time in there. Absolutely in there, Kenny. And meanwhile, I'm going to try the necromancer out here where the fire was. Seems to make sense. If you do come here, expect it to be a bit clarty, because it is. It just is. And I'm going to sit on the wall, wet or not. No, I'm not going to sit on the slug though. That was an error. Big slug. Right, hang on. See what we get. Anybody here? Is there anyone here? Please. What happened to you here? What happened to you here? What? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Oh, what was that? Talk to me. What was that? What's your name? What did you do here? Talk to me. there's anything here, talk to me. I'm being drawn back to this area. If there's anyone here, show yourself. Show yourself to us. Come on. I know you're here. Show yourself. Come on. Tony, keep your eye over. This might just be me, but when I move my torch from left to right, put your torch, put your camera on that area there, just the back area. You see there's like a circle there.
Yeah, yeah.
Just keep your torch on that while I do this and see if you get what I get. I was about here. It's when you see the dark part, oh, it might not happen with your light, but I was getting an anomaly over there. I still am. I'm going to point to exactly where it is and see if you can see it. You seeing that?
Not sure.
Like a grayness. Grainy. It's almost a figure. Ah. Yeah, when you look at it full on, it's gone. Right. Just for now. Any joy, Kenny?
Oh, yeah. I've never had an experience like that before.
What happened?
Right. And I can only describe it as a rainbow, like a rainbow arch of colour.
What?
Honestly, right, I'll tell you what happened. So I'm in there, it's like a rainbow, kaleidoscopy colour, just flashed like that. The ball lit up, then there was a breath on my face, breath of here on my face, and then I spoke and I said, light the ball up, and I said, can you speak? And then there was, yes. And that would be on my camera, the yes, definitely.
Wow.
Because I've got all of that there, but what, I've never seen that before.
A rainbow?
Like, you see like the arch?
Yeah.
Like an arch, like a rainbow arch of colour behind us there. It just lit it up and I just went, what the hell is that? I've never seen that before. And I've never seen that before. I don't know what it is. It's an experience I've never had.
If I go in there, I lose you, don't I?
Yeah.
Do I lose my mic?
Possibly. It depends because the wall's so thick. I can maybe go to the door around there.
You go around and I'll meet you through.
Right.
You need to be in there.
Let's go in, Kenny.
Right.
Let's go in.
Might lose Alan for a little bit because the walls are so thick in here. But hopefully we'll get him back.
This corner here, though.
Hopefully you've got him
Look.
back.
Tony, Tony, can you see it? Can you see it?
I can see it.
Can you see it, Tony?
That's in here. I knew it was in
Not sure.
Do you see it?
I can see a bit of mist.
Something in here.
Like a mist?
Yeah, mist.
I knew there was something in here.
Wow.
Look at that.
Amazing. I saw that and the ball's gone. The ball's gone. Oh, yeah, it's gone, look. Tony.
I can't come in.
Oh, the ball's flashing.
You know, Kenny's camera, I'll have to point at it.
You go in that corner and talk.
This corner.
The thing was, if you get the same as what I got a breath on me.
Right, in this corner.
Yeah, breath on me face, a kaleidoscope of colour, ball went, then I saw like a figurine thing.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do, because just for Tony's benefit, and we saw one going off there, just for Tony's benefit, we'll put these down here. Okay? Yeah. Right, now, I'll go in this corner. Oh, dear. Is that mist still there? It's still there. I hope you... Did you see any of it, Tony?
I saw
really?
a bit of mist with my eye. I'm not sure on the camera, but hopefully.
But Kenny, you've got to check Kenny's camera for that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you've got a main camera there. As well as everything else. It's still here.
I know, I see it.
Still be close, look.
Oh, it's still there. It really is still there.
Still here. What is it? Look. Look.
Yeah, it's there, there.
To me camera.
Look!
Look at that, man. It's right next to us. What's that say? Wolf.
Wolf. That's wild. Wild, 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 wild. Oh, footsteps from in here.
Oh, yeah. That was the other thing. I got a footstep in here as well. When I was in here. That was another one. Oh.
I'm going in that corner now. I'll just stand there and see what we get. And you got... I'd love to see that rainbow thing, though. It's in the blackness, and I know Tony's adding a little bit. There's a little bit of light coming through the top right. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Just up there. Yeah, step in so that Tony can see you. No, so he can see you. Yeah, yeah.
I'm here. Just talk in that corner.
If there's anyone there, make yourself known. Make a noise. Talk to us. Was that you?
That wasn't me. I'm standing here, look.
Did you hear that, Tony?
Oh, the other thing is, I see bulbs in here with me naked.
Did you hear anything?
Nah,
Can you hear what goes out on the mic?
No, I can just see it. No.
There was like a banging, like a...
I can't hear what goes out the mic. Everyone else can.
If you heard anything there at home, please. It was like, if that was you, make the noise again. Oh, there it was. That was a footstep, clear as day.
That's exactly what I got before.
Now, there's no water dripping in here. It's totally dry. If there's anyone or anything in here, talk to us.
Do what you did to me. Just breathe.
And again, that was like a thump.
Just breathe. Do you see the old there?
I didn't see it.
Oh, and the other thing, I've got aching, the back aching.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Something's just hit me on the head. But there's no liquid, is there?
There's no water in here. There's no water in the
So what could that have been?
There's something in here. There's definitely something in here.
Something touched me on the head, like...
Right, so the breathe on me before, breathe on me face.
And Tony will have caught that on camera.
Right,
If
so-
there was anything on my head.
So light up the balls then. Why are you not touching them again here? You were touching them before.
Come on. Talk to us. Talk to us. So where was the rainbow? There. Behind you.
Like here, it was here, like a rainbow arch of colours.
Oh, that's going to come up on the camera then.
And I was facing that way, you know. Like, there's orbs in here moving, there was orbs moving before there, I could see with the naked eye. Because when you turn your camera on, when there was no light at all, it was just all kind of...
I think your eyes get accustomed to the darkness really well. And even just something as light as that is enough to kind of keep you going. If there's anyone here, light them all. Just give us one of these balls, light them up. Male, female, French, Scottish, English.
When I was talking to balls in there,
Yeah.
and I was like asking questions, I said, are you English, are you Scottish, are you French? Didn't light up any of them. Do you not know what you were? Lit up then? How would you not know what you were? Surely you know what...
Well, the country was in a bit of a mess because the French king was telling everybody that they were French. Right. You're French now, you're under French control. So people didn't know whether there was, especially in this part of the world, people today don't know whether they're Scottish. Talking to people in Berwick and say, are you in England and Scotland? Some will say Scotland, some will say England.
Well, I said sort of thing like that. Did you kill people? Yeah, lit up again. Were you a soldier? Lit up again. Did you defend it?
What the flip was that?
That was like it.
Something's just...
Think of that.
So, first of all, I heard a noise, but just as I looked that way, didn't say anything, but it felt like somebody just went like that on my hand. Right. And it was like, whoa, hang on. There's something down here.
This is the pot. It's freezing now as well, mate. It's actually freezing.
I can feel icy, and I know that's outside, so you'd think, well, there's going to be a draft. But no, it's all of a sudden turned colder. What are you feeling, Tony? Are you feeling?
I'm all right. It's just I can hear all the rain and stuff like that. So.
Are you in the rain?
Yeah, a little bit. Huh?
Oh, blimey. Well, why don't you? You can't come in.
I can't go in because the signal goes.
Ah, dear. This is just I tell you what. Grab the balls. Let's go down. We'll try a few other bits and pieces.
We've got to go to that place down near the front that you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's head back a ways. With me peg leg. Which is the way out?
Down there, where you are.
Is it, or is it through there?
Yeah, it's that way, through the field and down there.
Is it? You sure?
Yeah.
Come on, Ken. I thought those stairs were amazing. Because you see right the way up to the top as well. What a place. You feel it though, don't you? Immediate change.
Yeah. People have got to come here and just go in there and do stuff.
You have to. See if you get anything. But if you've caught something on...
Here, there is in there.
It is not. But that passageway feels icy.
Yeah. Totally icy.
Excuse me. Just if you've caught anything on camera, all of the places that we point at, make sure you catch them and send them in to us. Don't like this bridge. I don't like anything where you can see through. No. You know what I mean? No.
But isn't it crazy? How's this Englishman can come up here, walk in the
Excuse me.
English people trying to take wages, Scottish people trying to take wages, couldn't get in, we can just come and walk in.
I know. Biggest slugs. Biggest slugs in humanity here.
Who would have thought that years later, all that fighting over those classes yet. Here,
And now you can just wander through.
I haven't been down there.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Oh, we can
Well, you can get down there. That's a way.
get into that.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Look at where the moat is.
yeah. Ooh, have to be a bit careful. Oh, you can't count them. Oh, hang on. This is just a wildlife thing, but quickly, Kenny. I pointed my camera at that mound and hundreds of little red things ran off it.
Oh,
I mean,
what red ants?
no, they were long. I've never seen critters like them. But they moved too, I thought they were slugs, but they moved too quick to be slugs.
Right.
Don't know what that was, but I didn't like it. Oh, hang on. Oh, hello. That's probably the dungeon mine.
You think?
They have a look.
Oh, yeah. It would have been, wouldn't it?
Got the dungeon down here, Tony.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Now to get down to that other place, I think we've got to go around the corner.
It's very steep. I don't know if that's riskable because you might not get back up. It's very,
Really?
it's very, very steep there to get back up.
Do you think? Oh. Oh, really?
Well, I mean, I can film from up here. Yeah, it's getting back up from there, I think.
That's what I was thinking. In the wet as well, it'll be a... Don't take any chances, Ken. You don't want you on your... Don't want you on your arse. Yeah. Don't bother. Come back. But you can get in, you see, you can get into the dungeon, I think. I'm tempted to say, if you want to stay there and I'll get down and if you can hook us up.
You're going to slide when you get to there.
Do you think? Don't take a chance. Ken, come back. Come back. It's not much of the dungeon you can get into anyway. I think on a dry day, worth a try. This grass is sodden. Got bits of the wall here as well, just under the... I know, so do I. How does that look from... Kenny, it's going to be a room that's not 10 feet square, mate.
It's going to be amazing, but I mean, you'll never get back up.
That's the end of the show. Alan's doing a
You can
hole.
look over, can't we?
You wouldn't get that.
No.
We can see down here, can't we? It's just a small... Oh, got it. Look, it's got a tunnel. A little tunnel going out the back. Yeah.
Kenny,
Look.
I know what those things were.
What?
Worms coming up for the wet weather. Then when they see the torch, they just go... But they're worms.
You see the tunnel at the back? Like a little... Wonder where that leads.
It's got worms.
That's going to be like a secret tunnel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Into the woods. Yeah, it will be, look. Secret tunnel into the woods.
Wow.
You fall down there, you're dead.
Is there a river down there? I think I can hear a river.
I can hear something.
That's a wall here, the
that's the
external
river.
wall.
It's got to be.
And tiny little
Sounds like
arrow
water.
slits for people to fire
Could be.
arrows.
Well, you know it is on the River Tweed. It is the River Tweed.
And this is from where they would defend the River Tweed. 3 arched openings in the castle wall, completed in 1521 for guns to defend the crossing of the River Tweed. The Scots captured Norham in 1513, lost it again after the battle at Flodden Field, and they used to put cannons out of these tiny little apertures. Tony, do you see these holes?
The little window things.
Yeah, they used to, in the 1500s, they put small cannons through each one to defend the river against the Scots.
Oh yeah, they're tiny at the back.
But the cannons back then were only about the size of a tin can in gauge. But it was early days for cannonballs, you see, so look at this. Look at this, Tony, come on, man. Cobbles, so horses didn't tumble. The West Gate. Look at this.
Whoever lives in that village has got a nice view.
Lives in what?
Are there enough houses over there?
Oh, damn it. I feel like I swallowed something. Yeah, there'll be houses, I would imagine. Norham, the village.
Oh well.
Whoa, look at how far down that is, Tony. If somebody was fighting, just look
God.
down here. See how far down that is?
That is quite.
Could you imagine trying to climb up that stone?
Oh God, there's another little building or whatever. Or just a wall.
I think it's just a defensive wall. Spiders were beautiful spiders web with the perfect spider there for you, Tony, if you want a grizzly shot of a...
Yeah, it doesn't pick up.
No, too small.
Too small and fit fine.
Look at this, what a place. In every direction, though, Kenny. In every direction. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This used to have a barbican and a drawbridge. You know, a drawbridge that went up and down, and you can see how huge just an operation that would have been. What a place. What a joy. Are we on the other side of the arch up here? Climbing up. Blame you.
Yeah, that will be a good one. It looks iconic, doesn't it? Can't believe I haven't heard of it before. I'll get out your shot then.
And I know Flambar, Ranulph Flambar, but he didn't do the building. What did it?
says on the sign, Norham Castle, the most dangerous place in England.
It was, because this whole place, this whole area, didn't have any towns. Berwick was 4 or 5 miles away. Norham was just a tiny little settlement. This was the most dangerous place because all of the Scottish vagabonds, the forerunners of the border reivers, wild families doing what they chose. And that's why when the bishops came here and built things, they had to be big, flamboyant and super tough. It's why I mentioned earlier on that the bishop hired mercenaries, murderers and rapists to terrorise people. Now this is the church selecting those folk. I mentioned the cannons up on the wall before. There was apparently one of the earliest ever cannon fights during the time of Queen Elizabeth I. There was a battle across the River Tweed by cannons firing from one side to the other. And the battle only ended, it was against marsh wardens. You probably heard the term. They were people who essentially looked after the land on behalf of either the king or the queen. Now at that time it was for Queen Elizabeth I, and for the Scots it was for their version of it. So they fired cannons back and forth, and it only ended when the Scottish marsh warden got hit by a cannonball while sitting on his horse. It went through the horse, literally through the horse, up into his lower torso and split him in half. And the horse fell, part of his body flew off with the cannonball, leaving his legs stuck in the stirrup of the dead horse that was lying on the ground. Oh, I thought that was a figure. Cheapers. It's when you stare at the light to talk to our friends at home. Oh, cheapers. It's a sign of some kind, isn't it? Come on, Ken! Let's check this whole place out. You just got to be fit just to cover the land, the area of it. You know, if you're on the gate here, and there's a gate just to my right, if you're on the gate here and somebody says they want to talk to you at the castle, and you had to run back in full armour down there, across the bridge, through the various grand gates. Look at this, there's a room up here. Come on. Oh, just heard a voice. Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. Is anybody about? Right. Just got to be careful you don't sit on a slug if you sit down anywhere.
Yeah.
That's not attractive. Oh, that's wet. Oh no, I can't do that. Oh, that went straight through. I now have a damp gusset. Come on, talk to us. Hello. Hello. Talk to us.
You know, when you think the words to it, you come up this hill and you've got a moor to go over, and you've got that hill, and you just send them home to think again, all right.
Absolutely. Deep, I know it's deep. Just climbing up, I'm just saying, if you were on guard at one of these gates, like the big gate over there, and somebody says they want you up at the castle, you're not going to be in armour, carrying weapons.
that side, have we?
But the balls are good, Tony.
He's got his camera on them.
He's got his camera good. Come on. You can picture people attacking a place like this. The castle has a sign on here saying under attack, and hand gunners, archers. As you see, they're depicting those small cannons that I was telling you about before, bows and arrows, and the old-fashioned medieval siege. That was earlier than that. And getting the gunpowder from China, learning from China. But during some of the sieges, some of the stories that they told here involved, during the time the plague was here, firing plague-ridden bodies over the wall to try and get everybody here to catch the plague. And of course the people on this side of the wall left them alone. Sometimes throwing animal hides over the top of them to try and make sure that they didn't come in contact with any of them. They would throw tainted meat, poisoned meat, at a time that they felt that this place would starve. Now we saw the well. The well looked like it was a good 100 feet deep. And if that was full of water, they were never going to dehydrate in this castle. There was enough water in the watercourse, and of course the River Tweed is probably what supplied that well with water. So they were in good shape. From a food point of view, before a battle, knowing that there were rival troops coming, they'd bring entire herds of cows, herds of cattle in here and keep it in the main square. Close the gate, close the barbican. And then even if they did manage to get across these walls, and the vast majority didn't, how are you going to get past that? Absolutely amazing. And the thought that on one occasion, when the Scots had the castle, the English tended to be, the Scots were brutal. They're brutal, they were warriors. But the English, they always took it like a step too far, a step past acceptable. At one point, they were firing living Scottish prisoners, still alive, over the walls on catapults. Bam! And if they splattered against the wall, so what? Right. Let's see how Kenny's getting on. I know he's lit up. Just in every direction there's something, isn't there?
I know.
Amazing.
It's a shame about the rain.
No, absolutely. Could have certainly done without that. What a place. How'd you get on, Kenny? Yeah? Well, you did give it permission.
Well, I mean, literally just kept on flashing and flashing, didn't stop at all.
Right. because they're only supposed to go for like 6 seconds or something. It's just starting to rain heavier again now. You could spend a week here, mate. You could spend a week looking at that. And there's the steps. Light them up, Kenny, because that's where the girl's spirit's supposed to be.
Well, that's where the balls go off before as well.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Was that you, Tony?
No.
Did
Sound
you
like
just...
a phone ping?
Oh, it was a phone ping, was it? But we both saw that mist clearly. And I think Tony caught it on the camera as well. It was on your camera.
The main thing for me was that kaleidoscope of colour. Do you know, like if you look through a church window and it lights it up?
Yeah, yeah.
All different colours. It was like that, but like just an archway of it.
I just know that when I was in there, something touched me on top of the head, and it couldn't have been a drip because I was in the dry bit. Well, can I just say on behalf of those of us who are... Did you hear that? Voices from the castle. Is that where it came from? It was over there. Hi. Is that just an echo?
Hello.
Yeah, there's an echo there too. Thank you. Last chance for you to show yourself to us. Love and respect to you. Come on, King Edward, show yourself on that battlement up there. Show yourself at a window. Now it's just starting to get super heavy wet now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's probably time for us to draw a veil on it, because it is starting to get seriously wet.
Under that archway.
Yeah, that's a good
dry.
idea. Yeah, yeah. Stay out the damp. And this time I'm in the wet and Tony's in the dry. It's only fair. Hey, what do you think of this place?
I think it's absolutely amazing. And all the time that we've done castles and stuff, that is the best. And I've loved some castles.
I know it's an hour away, hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
From Tyneside.
Yeah. It costs nothing to go in there and experience all this.
Listen.
Time of night. Bells again.
It's that church bell. Norham Church, 12th century. 11. The 1100s here. The 1100s.
But 900 years ago. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Most dangerous place in Britain. I mean, God.
Well, it was at the time, but you got to remember that it was just full of gangs of hoolies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when they come and a bishop says, I'm in charge now, and if they didn't like it, they fought against it. How do you fight against this?
Oh,
And especially when the mob that you've hired are murderers, rapists and mercenaries. You're causing trouble, are you? We're going to kill you and then we're going to rape your wife. Oh,
How long would that take to build that?
oh God, who knows? It's just, even just considering the fight, because this is the castle wall, right?
Yeah.
The outer wall. And then you get over, not in, but you get over this wall, if you can, and you're here. And you got a castle full of armed people waiting for you. And you think, jeepers.
I'm going to go down there, up that bank, over that. Nah.
Taxi! Unbelievable. Hey, we hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to head back and try and get a little bit dry and then head back in our respective directions. And until we are together again, get ready for the blah. And please look out, go back, rewind, check out that misty figure that we saw.
Yeah, lots of things that we saw. Lots tonight in a small time.
Yeah.
Lots.
So do check that out. What other moments should they look out for when they see your footage on Sunday?
Well, obviously when I was talking to the balls, I got responses from them straight away.
We want that rainbow thing if it was, if
I
you,
would
if it
love
could.
to think that I got that on camera, you know. I would love to think I did. Certainly there was orbs moving about in there. You would definitely get them on the camera. The noises, the breath on my face, and then when I asked the question, said yes. So that'll all be on this camera. It should all be on there.
Great.
So
lots to look for. We're out for you in all weathers. We'll keep on keeping on. This would have been a different experience dry, you know.
oh, totally different. Totally different.
And I don't know whether it's a good thing that we came when it was wet because we're alone.
Yeah.
Because we may well not have been on a warm summer or spring night.
I
But
think it adds to it.
I think it does too, to be honest. An amazing place. Thank you so much for your support. We need it more than ever. Spread the word. Tell everybody to join the throng. And until we are together again, from Hollywood McShane behind the
Good
camera.
night.
From Kenny.
Good night again.
And from me, Alan Robson. Good night. God bless you and I wish you well. Love this place. Love it. I don't just like it. I love it.
I do love this castle.
And to be honest, those mounds with the worms in. What did you hear at?
It's a little alleyway, but it's the next gate, isn't it? A little corridor.
Yeah. No, but when I saw those worms, it looked like an afro wig, and then all of a sudden they just all went. They just sunk under the ground.
Good night, everyone.
I've never ever seen that.